Hey everybody, this is Dork Dad Adrian, and I wanted to give a recap of the last Mandalorian episode, which was Chapter 11, The Heiress. So let's get right into this. If you haven't seen it yet, spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen it yet, you're really late. Anyway, so we start off as from the season trailer with the Razor Crest limping into Trask. After a bumpy, fiery crash landing, they all arrive, and the Frog Lady meets up with Frog Man. Mando spots a possible Mando, or Jedi person. Anyway, the Frog Man tells him to check the inn for more Mandalorian information. So Mando leaves the ship with a Mon Calamari, asking him to do his best to repair the ship. Now, I didn't see any Mon Calamari in the trailer, so this was interesting to see. I remember that there was a civil war back on Mon Cala during the Clone Wars. At the end, Mando gets chowder for the child, and he asks for information from another Mon Calamari. He directs him to a Quarren who says they'll travel by ship, which will take a few hours. Now on the ship, the Quarren actually trick Mando, pushing the child into a feeding for a sea monster, and Mando along with it into the water. They mentioned as well that his Beskar will be theirs, which makes it sound like they spend their time trying to trick other Mandalorians. But 3 new Mandalorians save him, and OMG, it's Bo-Katan! And you could tell it's her from the designs on her helmet. This was a really awesome reveal for me. It also turned out that the onlooker from before was not Sabine Wren. Anyway, Mando is thanking them when they remove their helmets. He's skeptical of them, asking them where they got that armor, like in episode 1, thinking that they're not even Mandalorians. One of them says, he's one of them. Bo says they do not follow the no-face rule because our Mando is following the child of the watch, quote-unquote, religious zealots who broke away from the Mandalore and want to return to the old way. So Mando leaves them. Now this was interesting for me because I wanted to know the whole no helmet reveal thing. It's also good to see Bo-Katan and the actual voice actress Katie Sackhoff playing her in the live action. Later I googled, and yes, they are referring to Deathwatch. Last we know was led by Pre Vizsla. It'll be interesting to see how our Mando deals with being part of a zealous group, even though they saved his life and made him one of them. Now, the other Mandos destroy the ship. Back at the docks, our Mando gets cornered by the brother of the captain of the ship he was on, who was the guy from the bar. Luckily, the other Mandos show up and save him, and they just kill everybody, and they go have talks over drinks. They say they're trying to get their weapons back to take back their homeworld, which we assume is Mandalore. And Din, or our Mando, doesn't care. He has to return the child to the Jedi, he tells them. Bo-Katan says she will trade information for stealing weapons from a freighter. Din leaves Little Yoda with frog people, and Little Yoda is, again, he's staring down those frog eggs, but this time we actually see one hatch, so hopefully he doesn't eat one. Then we come to the freighter scene, and this is where it really picks up. The Mandalorians just tear the stormtroopers apart, which can't be very hard. But there's also a scene where our Mando runs up and throws some grenades, and his armor comes in handy, just deflecting the lasers. They're on their way to the hangar, but then they get locked in the hangar control room. The bad guys comically get taken out by the Mandos just opening the hangar door. Bo-Katan then says they're taking the whole ship, but Din doesn't like it. Bo says they have something that belongs to her. Is that the Darksaber? Probably. Anyway, Bo tells Jin to help them, or no Jedi information. The Imperial Captain, who's played by Titus Welliver, I recognize the face, not the name. Anyway, he contacts Moff Gideon, telling him that they need backup, but Moff says, if the ship is that far gone, it's too late. You know what to do. And then they both repeat, for the Empire. And the leader guy just kills the 2 pilots, and he intends to crash the ship. The Mandalorians get to the bridge just in time and save the ship. Bo asks the leader, where is it? The Darksaber, does he have it? And the bad guy says, if you're asking, you already know. The bad guy kills himself with teeth electricity, instead of being killed by the Mandalorians, knowing he'll die by Moff Gideon anyway. Bo tells Din to go to the planet of Corvus, to the city of Caladan, to find Ahsoka Tano. Yay. Anyway, Mando goes back to his not-so-repaired ship, complete with fishnets, and finds a squid creature, and he feeds it to the child. So overall, this was the best episode in the season so far for me. Some people have said in the entire series, but I wouldn't go that far. I thought there would be a Sabine Wren at this point, but honestly I'd rather not have them rush too many characters in just yet. And I'm also not the biggest fan of Sabine Wren, but I'll maybe get to that another time. I am really curious about how much of the quote-unquote empire is still around, like who's in charge and how organized they are. It doesn't seem as if they've gone away completely if they're still this organized. And side note, the fact that Ahsoka and Ezra Bridger are still alive during episodes 4 through 6 makes me wonder why they didn't help at all. Then again, Ahsoka defected twice, once originally from the Jedi Order and second after Order 66. Ezra, on the other hand, did make a random jump into hyperspace, so he may be in a bit of a pickle along with Thrawn. I am excited to get straight into the Jedi information, what we've learned so far. We know that Ahsoka will know about Master Yoda, as opposed to everyone else. Yoda may have slipped from memory way back after episode 3, which was 28 years ago, since episode 3 was 19 years before episode 4, and episode 6 is 4 years later, and then The Mandalorian is 5 years after that. So Ahsoka may be intrigued that she is seeing another member of Yoda's species. That's all I can think of for now. Let me know your thoughts below. Subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.